Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Breaking Boundaries podcast. So I've lost count of.
I think we're on like episode 16.
Oh,
maybe 17 even.
Oh, maybe. Okay, cool. So welcome back to that episode. So today, again, we've not got anything too much planned, but we're gonna have a bit of a catch up. Obviously, there was 3 massive shows on the weekend too. Yeah. And we've actually had quite a lot of questions this time around. So it's going to be quite a nice little episode. One that you can definitely do cardio to. But before we kick off, let's just get on with it. Like, how are you, Liz? How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm very good. Do you want a little bit of an update on where I'm at the moment?
Always.
Keep it nice and brief. So I'm still running my my mini diet at the moment.
It's quite severe, by the way. Everyone, you literally just went mini diet. Like I think you said you've only got 50-gram oats on rest days as your carbs.
Yeah. To be fair though, like that's like the only like direct carbs I've got, but I eat a lot of fruit and So like I have like 200 grams of fruit meal one, then I have like 150 grams of fruit with that meal, then I have 150 grams of fruit with my last meal, and then I also have like loads of fats throughout the day as well.
Nice.
So because I thought my food was really, really low at one point, because my direct carbs are obviously only really put around the training window to prioritize that, and then I actually figured it out, and like with all my fruit and like everything else, it was like still 200 grams of carbs a day.
Oh, lovely.
Like, that's not a lot. That's not that bad. Yeah. So then we actually brought it down a little bit because I wasn't dropping like fast enough. And for somebody who's as small as myself, my food does need to get low for me to drop weight. It's just weight, especially at a good rate without like taking the piss. So it's down a little bit more now. So I think I'm on like 120 carbs on training day, and then it's like 70 on a rest day or something like that, which really ain't that bad. But feeling good. Weight's coming down nicely now. I'm happy with the way that I'm looking. I'm happy with just the way that I feel, to be honest. Like I'm not really like worrying too much about like, oh, how look all the numbers on the scales or anything like that, because when you go from being like that heavy, and I'm sure you must have felt this at the start of your prep, when you're so heavy and then you suddenly just start to come down a bit, you just feel like I get changed, and like it's all right if I like catch a glimpse of myself in the mirror and I'm not like hanging out all over the place.
So for me, it was literally, I wouldn't say it was right before prep, because I did my mini cut ended December, so I didn't have too long of a period of time where I was like pushing back up, and my composition stayed really good.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, but literally, whenever I share, this time last year was my heaviest. I was 78. And I was big.
Yeah, you're like 59 now as well, aren't you? Was it 58? Like weird, like it's crazy that.
Yeah. So I know what you mean. Like the first, like when I was 78 and I dropped that first, like
like
it's substantial amount.
Because I'm like 8 pounds down now, which for somebody like my size,
that's a lot.
But like visually, like when I was looking at like my check-in pictures, I was like, I don't look like, oh my God, like she's lost loads of weight. But my shape, just like as a whole, my shape is more present. Like everything's just a bit nicer, it's just a bit tighter, I look less bloated. My face, although it's still like chubby, it's less like puffy, and like I just feel a bit less like fluffy all the time. Which is nice. And training's going really well.
I was about to say, have you noticed any changes in your training, or has it just been like you've just continued to progress? Because I know that for you, which I absolutely love about you, like your training is the main thing. And have you been like losing a bit of numbers, or have you been able to maintain or even progress? I don't know.
Like to be fair, training's been really good. There's some things that have obviously changed, but mainly just from like an execution standpoint anyway, that I would have done like whether I was a surplus or not.
Yeah.
But in terms of like general strength and stuff, is still going really well. I feel really strong, still taking like really good progressions on most things. Because at the end of the day, my body weight is still high. So when you're at like the dog end of prep and you're like losing weight, and you've got hardly any body fat on you, it's very hard for you to stabilize movements. And that's when you really see like the drop off in like your numbers throughout sessions, because you can't stabilize that weight anymore. You're now like literally like on like a hamstring curl, trying to like curl more than you actually weigh, and you can't, it's like pulling you out the seat.
For me, I'm noticing, obviously I'm such long limbed, so for me my push stability has always been a struggle, but it's maintaining that tightness to really push through is like, I know that if I had that little bit of extra weight, I'd be able to get like 2-3 more reps easy. But
there's just some things that will go. But I think a big thing that's helped me has been, because I train with AJ, and he's literally like 5 weeks out and he's like 50 pounds down. I can't
you can't like, slip up.
Take any, like regression. When I'm literally like 8 pounds down and I'm still like heavy as fuck. But equally, like there's some things like with him where he's literally been pretty much throughout the whole prep, he's just been focused on maintaining. Like he's not thinking about, I'm going to progress. He's just focusing on keeping numbers, keeping accurate. Some things have maybe come down a little bit, but then he's taken like a higher rep set and just made it more accurate in that sense.
Oh my God.
Like people need to be aware that that's fine. You know?
I literally have like this little post like ready to go, because basically one week I was like, no, I'm not dropping my snatch grip RDLs. I'm not dropping them anymore. Like, you know, I used to be hitting like 115 for like 10, all this jazz. And then I was like, right, I'm on 95 and I got 6 reps last week. I was like, fuck's sake. I dropped it to 90, mate, and I hit such a beautiful set. And I think I hit something like 11 reps. Like sometimes you have to take that to be able to then have a good set, have a good connection, and continue to. I think that's why I've been able to maintain my muscle fullness, because I've been able to really be accurate with my training and not think about the numbers. Think about where I'm taking the set instead of being like, oh, I'm losing.
Because at that point, when your body weight can't stabilize that weight, you're not going to be training that muscle group if you're just trying to like just move weight for the sake of it. And when your primary goal at that point is muscle retention, just fucking train the muscle. Like, don't worry about anything else. But on that note, I want to hear a little bit more about where you're at, because is it 9 days?
Oh my God, Saturday.
9 days out. Hannah is 9 days out from the UKDFBA, Heart of England.
Yeah, boy.
She'll be there. I'm very excited because it's going to be a really stacked.
It's going to be stacked.
Everyone says that, but it is going to be. It's going to be a big show, and it's nice that there's such a good turnout,
mate. So, by the way, just want to say that Heart of England, it actually shortens to Ho, and I'm here for it.
I wrote that in my diary today.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
I think I typed out this one the other day, and I was like, oh, I'm just doing the Ho. Yeah, I am. So 9 days out. I am, as of this morning, let me get it up on my little app, 59.6 kilo. So my weight's doing a little, you can't see because of the flash, but my weight's doing a bit of a fuck around the past couple of days, but I am changing daily. Like every single day, I am actually getting new lines.
Have you got that thing where like, well, I'm sure you've had it for ages, but you're like excited to like wake up in the morning to like look in the mirror and just see.
I'm waking up before my alarm every single day, even though I'm probably sleeping like 5-6 hours a night. Because I'm like, check in.
It's like you almost get more energy because you just like, you're so excited to like see everything.
Yeah, so obviously, as people can probably tell right now, I'm having a great day. Like, obviously this isn't the case all the time. I don't want people to think like, you know, but I think what's been so great is even if I'm fucking dragging my feet, I'm still like this because I am fucking loving it. Like I have also had those days where I'm like fucking crying and I'm really like emotionally, hormonally struggling.
I think girls get that way worse as well. Like you're gonna feel like emotions all over the place. Even if you think, oh, I love this, why am I crying? Like it's okay if you feel a bit emotional.
So I mean, we'll go into it a little bit more in a minute, like because I'll do a bit of an update first. But like obviously the Two Bros show, there was PCA and a UK DFBA show on the weekend, and that sent me into a bit of a head fuck. But yeah, so
I voice noted you.
Yeah. So I'm 59.6 today, but my lowest 2 days ago was 59.15. So I am I started at 74, so I'm like 14. 15 down-ish. So that's cool.
That's nice.
Kuba's response to my check-in this morning was best luck yet, which is fucking class. So my steps at the minute, I haven't done cardio now for about 3 weeks, which is lovely. It's very, I'm never going to be this person that's like, oh my God, can you please add cardio? No, never. I would rather, I was going to say I'd rather lose a bit of food. I don't know. Depends, doesn't it? But my steps are the past 3 days have been 16,000. 7 of those in the vest. And that has been the only change for a while. Obviously, I've been having refeeds here or there. And I've been having like, have an extra rest day here.
It's nice because you just auto-regulate it so well.
At
this point in a prep,
I've been checking in every single day for I think like 2 weeks now. So like from 4 weeks out, it's just incredible service, impeccable. So yeah, that is literally kind of been the only changes. Like my food has been the same again, other than refeeds, for like 10 weeks. So it's funny because people are like, oh, you're so lucky because you haven't had any food drops. I'm like, bro, you do realize my food was almost dropped by 2/3 in total.
Yeah, because honestly, you shouldn't have to keep dropping it. Like, you drop it to the point where you're in a deficit. You're in a deficit. Just keep fucking running it. Yeah. Until it's like it stops. But you'd rather have like that big drop and then just run that, and then not make any other changes.
Exactly. So I think so many people get like, caught up with who's on what, who's doing what, like, you know, and it's not how it is. At the end of the day, if you take into account the fact that it has been a 20-week prep as well, whereas some people do 10, you know, like there's so many variables. So, but right now, today, I'm in a very great mood, very good mood. Work's been really good. Like I presented today.
By the way, that thing behind you is,
oh my God, how amazing is it? Danny,
I've been staring at it like the whole podcast. Like, by the way, for anyone who can't see, she's got like this.
I know. As well. I was just gonna say this was like from Hannah, but this.
She's got like, is it a drawing?
It's a painting.
She's got like this painting of her like from like on stage last year. It's really cool. So, who did that?
Danny Robinson.
Oh,
I know.
That's so cool. It's really cool.
She's
if you're not watching this on YouTube, just like go on YouTube really quickly, skip to whatever time we're at and just have a quick look. It's cool.
She's actually got a page, Danny Creates, and she actually does, it's a commission piece. So yes, I am in love with it. I love it so much. That's hence why it's in my fucking lounge.
Yeah, I love that. Sorry, I just got distracted.
No, I'm here for it.
Talking about how you're having a good day today.
Obviously yeah, I've had very low energy the past probably 2 weeks, but that's because the glute lines have been kicking in, so I'm here for that too. But yeah, not really much to update you on. Like I said, work's been class today. Like, I've been part of this one experiment where it's something that I've never done before, and I had a meeting with my like 2 managers and like supervisor, and I was like, I've collated all the data and I felt really proud of myself. And then my leg session yesterday, like, again, going back to not necessarily stressing about numbers, but still putting everything into it. Like, I actually got 2 reps up on my hack.
Oh, yeah.
But it's because we've been massively auto-regulating my volume.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
I'm still on 2 sets on leg press, but I'm on 1 set for hack. And also I did only move gyms a couple of weeks ago, so it's probably taken me a couple of weeks to like get used to the movement. But
it's quite nice though, that almost, because you got no numbers. Like, I think you're going to it so much better.
Like, I hit top set leg press was still 5 plates aside for 10. Back off, I did 180 for 14, I think. And
what? I'm just gonna say, what's really cool, I think a lot of people forget, is like, because we're so always focused on like progression, whatever, we forget that what we're still doing is still a lot. Like, just taking like 5 plates aside on a leg press and taking that for a set, like, that's still like a lot of fucking work.
Yeah.
Like, you're still
sometimes you have to like literally take yourself out, because that's what improved my mood yesterday. Like, not improved it, I was in a good mood already, but like, on my way to the gym, I was fucked. I was literally driving there like, this is going to be the worst session. Oh, no. I'm literally so scared. I'm so scared. I'm going to bury myself. I might die. And then I got there and I was like, just fucking enjoy it, mate. I realized it was my last my last hack rotation. And I was like, you know what? Just do what you can and just fucking enjoy it. I had this guy spot me for leg press. And I said, you got to do the debrief. I was like, don't fucking touch it though. I was like, unless I say help, don't touch it. And he was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. And the whole way through, he was like, and breathe. It was quite funny. But anyway, when I finished, he was like, your last rep was the same as your first rep. I was like, are you flirting with me?
It was.
Are you flirting with me? And he was like, what was so great is that, you didn't rush towards the end of it. Like, I've actually learned so much from watching that set from you. And I was like, thank you. But that's what, and I really enjoy it. Like, I finished the set, and I felt so in control of that set as well. Sometimes you do a set and yes, you move the weight, but you're like, didn't really feel right. But it felt great. So today, it's a very welcome rest day though, I won't lie. Like, my body's pulsing a little.
Yeah, I really like rest. Would you like to speak a little about the days that potentially don't feel so good? And we can obviously talk about the weekend as well, sort of bringing into that too.
Yeah, I think it's very important, because like I said, like, if you're listening to this right now, you're going to think like, oh, she's so happy like all the time. I have had low days, and that does happen within prep, especially within the last 2 weeks. If you're in condition, this is more of a mental game than anything. It's more of that last push than anything. So the weekend, for example, like I said, there were 3 incredible shows. The first, I had like almost like 3 points that were like fucking with my head. The first one, I was like, right, there was no one in my category again, women's physique. No one turned up. I like, not even one this time, just no one turned up. And I was literally like, I'm not putting myself through all this to be the only one on that stage. I don't want that. But so now I know there's 11.
Yeah.
Which I am
I
so...
told you there was going to be more people at the Heart of England. It's just because people don't do the early shows, and women's physique anyway isn't a massively like it's not like bikini, is it?
No.
No. And equally, like, people want to get in like good condition for that, so they're doing longer reps anyway, and they've got to hold that condition for finals, so people always do the later shows.
So I mean, figure there's 14.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited because
obviously
I've been to all the shows and they've been awesome to watch. But I've not seen like a lot of figure athletes or even like a very, very high standard, because there's not been like that much competition, to be honest. So I'm actually really looking forward to that. I'm buzzing.
I honestly, every time I think about it, I get like almost like a little fire. I'm like, get me on now.
It's going to be a very good show because, well, pretty much everyone that I know that's prepping right now is doing that show. And I've seen all of the other ones. So by that point, I'll see everyone who, other than the internationals, who's going to do the British finals as well. So yeah, I'm
so, but that was my first head fuck. I was literally like, why am I putting in all this work if I'm going to turn up and be the only one? Then secondly, I saw like the two bros lineup, and I was like, well, I mean, Cuba's right, but Cuba said to me, like, from the get-go, like, yeah, you're not big enough for two bros. I'm not. Not yet. But
very few like natural athletes will be able to be competitive at two bros standard.
Well, Lucy, Meg's client, won.
Yeah. She looks incredible. The thing is, when you do have the muscle, like, and also something to like that I said to you is that Lucy would have literally like taken the overall at women's bodybuilding. In that, you know, she's that standard. And that's why people like Bob Waterhouse is an IFBB pro, because he was like a deep back pro and he was immense. You know, like if you are at that top level of natural bodybuilding, you will be able to be competitive against the people within the IFBB, because you've got the same size and arguably you can get better condition. So, you know, that was cool to see. But I understand it's like one of those things that you're thinking like, oh, I'm not there. But I told you, I said, why would you be comparing yourself to someone who's just so far ahead of you?
Yeah. At the end of the day, like, it even shocks me when I share like my 2019 shots to now, let alone you know, before I was properly in the gym, properly training. Like that was only what, 2018, like 3 years. It's fucking nothing really. Actually training,
and that's spending time in surpluses and diets as well. So the main thing is like, this is what I see with clients that I've worked with other like natural athletes. So for example, the guy who won the overall at the UKDFBA last year, Mitch Jarvis, I think he's called. He was a gymnast, right? He was a gymnast who trained. And these people, so people who like gymnasts, CrossFitters, people who've done like Olympic weightlifting or whatever, they've spent the last 10 years doing that, building muscle, and they've never really dieted or done a prep. They've either been maintenance, they've been in a surplus, just building muscle over that time. And that's why they look the way they do, you know? So even though it's like me and you will say like, oh yeah, we've been training for like 3 or 4 years, but we have been like in and out of diet. So it's different. And that's what I have to take into account.
Exactly. And then there was the PCA show as well, which again, just like, for me, obviously PCA was a big part of my first season. And I just looked at the athletic figure women that were in that category, and I was like, that lineup, and I was literally like, Jesus Christ, like I thought I had grown since stepping on stage in 2019. I'm looking at this lineup and I feel like I'd be laughed off again. But honestly, I know I'm saying all this now, and I'm saying it because that's what was going through my head at that time. I fucking know, like, I have literally had this on repeat for the past 2, 3, 4 days now. I know there is absolutely nothing that I could have done more to get to where I'm at right now. I am also, and I've had to say this to Caitlin so many times, because she's like, the amount of times obviously that she might say something like, oh mate, I need to do this, or I need objectively, sorry, because we're both very analytical of our physiques, like in a very constructive way. Like, for example, I know I'm flat right now, and I'm absolutely fine with that, because I know that it's necessary. I know it needs conditions coming. I'm not stepping on stage tomorrow, so flat's absolutely fine. But anyway, oh fuck, I went off on a tangent, didn't I?
You were talking about you're absolutely fine, because
so I said what I've been saying to Kate. We are the best we have ever looked in our whole entire lives. And I'm not on about, oh my God, you're so sexy, you're so hot. No, I'm on about my fucking physique. I'm on about my delts. I'm on about my back. I'm on about my quads. I have never, ever looked like this. And again, like I said, like there is not anything that I could have done more. So I genuinely, if I get on stage in 9 days and I genuinely place last, I know people say this, but I fucking swear to God, if I place last, then that's just how it is. Yeah. And I'm absolutely fine with that, because I know that that's my best. And I know that, I know I've said this about 7 times.
It is really important to remind yourself that, though, going to show, because I really, really hammered that into myself when I went to my show. And obviously that was literally what happened. But I was okay with it, because I knew those things, and kind of like you, I was just excited to go to Austin.
Like I already know the areas that I want to grow. The fact, mate, that I haven't had an off season with Cuba in the gym.
Yeah, it'll be awesome, mate. Awesome.
This is gonna be juicy. That's all I'm gonna say. It's gonna be juicy. It's gonna be filthy. But yeah, so 9 days until my first show, and then 4 weeks until finals, if I get there.
5.
Is it?
Oh, afterwards.
Yeah, after. Sorry. Right. And then we'll just see from there, won't we? I'm kind of just taking the season as it is. Like, not so many people. I'm acting like I've got fucking loads of friends. I don't. People are like, oh, when can we like meet up and eat? That's what people say, isn't it? And I'm like, in all honesty, I'm gonna say November, because I don't know. We'll see.
We'll just see.
But anyway, I've again gone off on a tangent. We were talking about having a little bit of harder days, and we do have them. And I think it's just so important to make sure that you almost sit there and accept those feelings. Like, don't think, right, I've got to feel better right now. I'll like give myself that time. I'll like pop a film on, I will let myself be sad. And then because I also know that it's a lot of the time hormonal, and I can't really control it. Like I can literally sit there and be like, you're being dramatic right now.
You've still got to let it flow. That's the thing.
Let it flow to let it go.
That's not going to be the title of this episode.
No, it won't. Right, well, shall we do a couple of cues, because we had quite a lot. Did you say you had a lot and any good ones, or shall I shoot on?
Yeah, I've got quite a good one. I've got quite a few good ones. Do you want to go
for one
first? You go through some first, and then if I've got some other good ones, because people ask similar questions anyway. So.
Yeah, true. If you could compete in any other sport, what would you do?
Oh, I got this one as well.
Oh, go on. You go first.
Oh man, no, I've honestly thought about this so
Have
much.
You?
And now that I'm like on the spot, I can't. Do you know?
I think so. I've never done it, right? Obviously, dance was a massive part of my life for like 20 years. But I think a sport, like I know people are like, some people get really offended when people say dance isn't a sport. I mean, it's just, when I'm talking about a sport, I'm talking about something like, I think I'd actually go into rugby, rugby or boxing.
Yeah.
I reckon I'd fucking love it.
I played rugby like a little bit.
Did you? Yeah. Teach me.
And then because my family are a big like rugby family, and I really want to play, because I played hockey like for my county and stuff growing up, and I always really liked it.
Yes, bitch.
My problem was I was very aggressive. Like, this was always my issue.
I can picture it.
So like whenever I like missed a pass, or like someone did, I used to throw my stick across like the pitch. Like, I get really
emotional attachment.
And it stems from a young age. Didn't always end so well. So I did stop playing. I stopped playing hockey because I started training, and I was like, it's taking away from my training.
Yeah.
I played rugby at one point, so it was a little bit more like aggressive. Mm-hmm. But then like my dad didn't really like that I was like playing, because it's like a book. So stopped doing that. But I don't think I'd want to play rugby, because
you've been there, done that, innit?
Yeah, and I just don't think it would end very well.
Come on then. What would you do?
I'd want to do something like really fucking cool. Like when I watched like some of the Olympics
F1.
Oh yes, I would want to be
an F1 driver.
Honestly,
please, Santa.
I would have to be very rich. I would have to be very rich to do that, though, unfortunately. So that's not happen. But that would be
what
insane.
About you can just do karting?
Honestly, I went go-karting yesterday.
Cute. How was it?
Yeah, AJ booked for us to go karting for my birthday.
Oh my god, should have.
Yeah, and
everyone, it was Loz's birthday. Everyone comment below, happy birthday.
But honestly, like, I actually was really proud of myself, because from like the first race to the second race, I knocked down my time by like 10 seconds. So I was like,
damn.
But he because he like actually like was like a car, and he was like whizzing around, and I was like 3 times. I was like, but
lovely,
that would be it. So I'm gonna be an F1, and you're gonna play rugby.
Yeah, but high end. I'd be like I don't even know what they call it. I'd be like doing
in rugby union. You'd be like in the top team.
I'd be getting paid Okay, you'll go.
Next one. Me. I'm going to say, so someone's asked me what the most annoying questions or statements people make about training are.
Oh my God, I've got one.
There's so many, but one thing I'm going to say has been really, really annoying me for the past week. So I put this post on, right? Just a normal like session. And for some reason, it's gone on the explore page, and loads of like normal fitness people like commenting on it.
Some normals.
And they're all telling me that I'm locking my legs out on this leg press. And they're like, sis, you're going to break your knees. Your legs out. And they're like, girl, you're going to really hurt yourself. And I literally was like, honestly, it was winding me up.
Turn off the comment.
Yeah, I'm honestly going to, because they keep doing it. It's so annoying. I was like, look, I'm not hyperextending my knees.
Yeah, fuck off.
I'm at a point of zero flexion. Yeah. So when I'm there's no issue. Can you all shut up? You've all got no legs.
Yeah.
So
Legit. See, this is the thing, right? So I would say the past, obviously since joining Cuba, like, so what, a year and a half, probably more. Obviously, everyone has an opinion on your training when you actually care about how you train. And the amount of people that come up to me and they're like, oh no, you should be doing it like this. Bro, I've got a coach for a reason, and I've got a very good coach. Like, I'm looking at you right now, and if you're training how you're telling me to train, I'm not going to fucking do it because you look like a stick.
The thing is, everyone has different opinions on training, right? But if you've got a coach who's telling you what to do, like, you're going to listen to that person. Yeah. Don't give people unsolicited advice when they don't want it.
It's very different. Like, say if someone came over and they'd be like, oh, just, do you mind me like having a bit of an input, like just be careful on, you know, maybe you curled your back slightly here, like blah blah blah, and then you could be like, actually that felt absolutely fine, but like I appreciate the fact that you're pointing it out. That is an adult way to go around these things.
That's like what I'd always just explain it. You just say like, look, you're doing it like this reason. Yeah,
exactly. But coming over and being like, nah, mate. Like I used to get it all the time that you had about 10 reps left there. And I'm like, no, I actually fucking didn't. And then if you ask for a spot and they're push on every rep, I'm like, what? That's actually the most annoying thing. When you ask for a spot and someone's pushing on every single rep, or the people that are judging your training, like telling you how to train, you then see them train and they're getting pushed on every single rep, and you're like, well, not a single one of those was yours. So
no. Those are probably the statements. I mean, no one really makes the only statement that's obviously the same thing is just this whole like female training and gonna get big, and like every time I go to see my family it's the same shit, and I'm just so bored of it now.
Yeah, I mean, someone mentioned to me 3 weeks ago, you look ready now. Are you not losing muscle? Excellent. Tell the natural female that she looks like she's losing muscle. That is literally my biggest insecurity. So fuck off. I don't want to know.
Do you want me to run through tomorrow? Do you want to go?
I got one. I got another one.
Go.
So, opinion on Bikini Class currently: dieting comp versus physique, mental health.
So there's quite a few things in that question.
Quite a lot. Let's pick it out.
I'm actually just going to give my current thoughts on bikini. It's just such a confusing class. So confusing. Because it's so hard to actually understand what they want from you.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, like, I think it's an awesome class and the girls that nail it fucking nail it. But it's a very, very hard class to nail in the sense that I don't think it's such a bodybuilding class, because every other class, so you look at figure, physique, bodybuilding, or like whatever it is, you see the musculature, you see the shape, you see the condition. That's pretty much it. And you can look at the lineup and you can go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 based on those. Whereas with bikini,
I have no clue.
You can't do that. It's not the condition, it's not the shape, because sometimes they've got big glutes, sometimes the glutes aren't big enough, sometimes they've got too much quad, not enough quad, they're too lean, they're not lean enough. They're, so it's so hard to nail, and like it's very, very difficult. And I think in that sense it's confusing, because you see some bikini girls and they're really lean and they'll place well 1 week and then they'll not place the next week. And it's a really, really hard class. I think maybe when you look at like the top level Olympians, it's a bit more solid in what they go for when you see that top level IFBB pro judging. But in the amateur ranks, it's definitely a really, really difficult one. And I think that a lot of girls get very confused with it because they don't really understand what they're supposed to look like a lot of the time.
I do think it's a lot to do with presence as well with bikini.
Yes.
Which do you just swipe right on me?
Yeah. Camera just looks a bit dirty. I was trying to clean it.
I think it is a lot to do with presence, which isn't a bad thing, but if you've put in so much effort into your training and that's what you truly love, and then you get up on stage and you may have the best physique, but again, it is just, for me, I cannot stand there and say top 3. I can't. I don't know.
It's a refined category. It's like a category that you refine yourself for. So that's why I really didn't want to do it, was obviously because I had a lot of people say to me, like, I found a message today somebody sent to me and they were like, haha, you've got so much growing left to do for bikini, hope you're joking about moving to figure. And it was like proper, like,
what?
people sent me loads of messages like that when I said I was moving up. But the thing for me is, I see bodybuilding as bodybuilding. I want to be the best bodybuilder. So that's the direction that I'm heading towards, wherever I fall in between.
You don't want to restrict your training. You don't want to restrict.
My goals within bodybuilding are get bigger, get better shape, get in sick condition. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for, I need like bigger delts, or I need to like
I'll just bring this little area up.
My look, like, which by the way,
so
like I totally understand why a lot of girls love that, and I think it's really cool. But for me personally, that's just not what I enjoy out of bodybuilding.
Yeah.
So that's why I've not gone towards that direction.
Yeah, I think we should take this time to say, like, bikini is an incredible class, like, not taking anything away from those athletes. Like, it is just a very difficult class.
It's really hard.
For sure. But yeah. I don't know what they meant by mental health.
Because I think a lot of bikini girls do struggle, and I think it's a case of a lot of them potentially dieting when they haven't got enough muscle, and then it was a big dieting thing. And
because again, maybe they don't have the same mindset that we just touched on of, like, you know, we want to body build. We're not here to body maintain. You know?
Yeah, it's not absolutely not the same for everyone, but bikini is a class that a lot of girls do definitely see, and they're like, oh, it's the first thing that I can compete with, so I'm just going to compete, I'm going to do bikini. And they're potentially not in a great place to do that. They've not had a chance to really kind of like solidify how they feel about training and bodybuilding as a whole, and it does create like a whirlwind of issues, I think, in that sense. But like we've said, it's a case of prioritizing what you actually really enjoy about competing and training, and making your decision based on that, to be honest. But I think that answers the question.
Yeah, for sure. I think that was an excellent answer. Your go.
Okay. Oh, I've got a few.
Oh.
Well, one of them asked if we always wanted to do figure, and I think
we have covered that. Yeah. Like at the end, I think we just fell into it all, really. Yeah. It's not something.
I don't care if I compete in figure or not, personally. Neither does
I just want to get fucking massive.
I just like to be large.
Someone asked me today. Oh wait, actually, yeah.
No, go on.
Someone asked me today in like my other thingy question box, like, do you get stared at? I was literally like, bro, I'm not big enough to get stared at.
No. This one girl, which I'd quite like to answer this, because I think it would help her. She said, can you like give us some advice for someone who's wanting to compete? I really want to compete, and I have done for a while now, but my family and friends just have a really negative opinion, and they just keep calling me boring.
Oh, girl, you fucking do you. If something brings you joy, then never ever let anyone determine whether you do that or not. It's so important to just do what makes you happy. Like, the thing is as well, not trying to like piss on your parade, but you don't know if you'll love it. Like, if you want to do it, then you need to just give it a go and give it your all, because you might turn around and fucking hate it.
And something I will say for consolation is, pretty much every time I talk to my dad, he calls me boring. Like, I've been doing this shit for a long time now, and like my family, like some of them are good with it, but like some of them still not so great with it. And like anytime my dad asks me like, what you doing, and I say, oh, I'm training, and then just going home.
Or like, you know, when they're like, oh,
you're so boring, you like, even like when I had my birthday, and he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, no, what? She's like, oh, you should be out drinking, and it's boring. And you know, like, people are gonna have opinions, and unfortunately, like, no matter what anyone does, relevant of what you do, people are going to have a negative opinion, but also there's going to be some people that are going to have really positive opinion. And I know that it's very difficult potentially if like you're still living with those people and you're in that environment, but you can remove yourself from that environment and those people at some point if you need to, and you can surround yourself with people who do give you that positive influence. And it's shit, and you might have to deal with it, but trust me, like, everyone has to deal with a bit of shit. But focus on the positive things, try and find some positive things, reach out to some people who are competing, because honestly,
drop us a message, man.
Yeah,
we'll chat. you know.
But yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Basically, just do what you want.
Do what you want, and also, yeah, just enjoy every moment as well. Like if it's something you've wanted for so long, oh, that just hurts my soul. That just makes me feel like, just do it. Go, girl. You know,
Do it. Should we do one more question?
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't really have one for a finisher. So you go. Do you know what I mean? Like, not, yeah, they're not very. You go.
Let me have a quick look. And to be honest, I'm not really very happy with the other ones that I've got.
Oh, special guest.
Podcast gone.
It's still on.
You look terrible.
I look terrible.
You look like Austin Powers.
Exactly.
It's a good look. It's the Be Epic look. So
It's be epic.
anyway,
Yeah,
I think
there's t-shirts online.
Yeah, they're actually they're on sale now. So.
Did you get one? Did you get?
No, there's no discount. There's no discount code.
No, I didn't say that. Did you get a question? Did you get the last question?
Oh, there was no questions.
So this was a great end to the book.
Yeah, AJ's left that on a great end. Thank you, AJ.
No, it's all good. Yeah, so I guess I will see you in 9 days, mate.
Yeah, I will. I will see you in 9 days.
I am actually coming up on Sunday to Rotherham.
Yes. You're also actually recording this podcast, so you're going to have to end it, even though I normally end it. So you can.
That's fine. But yes, thank you so much, everyone, for listening. Thank you for taking the time to send over all the questions as well. We always love to get like your input on what we discuss within the podcast. We are gonna get some guests on in the coming.
Yeah, we will.
And yet, special mention to our little guest there, walking in on the end.
All right.
But yeah, okay. Right. Over and out. Good night, everyone.
Peace. Good night.